Episode 442, Bellew of the Weeks. We've had quite a few videos come in this week, or recommendations. First of all, a friend of the pod, Boxing Squared, has sent in a little Tony Bellew video that he produced for NBT Boxing a while back. Tony, being his contradictory self, let's hear what he had to say about drug cheats.
Surely not.
I've told you what to do, ban them for life. My thing would be, fail the steroids, officially you've took steroids, you've injected needles, ban them for life. Ban them for life. No ifs or buts, you fail for performance enhancing drugs, you're banned for life.
It seems to be people saying to you, and this is also towards Eddie Hearn as well, that it seems to be one rule for one and one rule for another.
If anybody fails a drug test for performance enhancing drugs, they've been injecting steroids, ban them for life. I don't care who it is. I don't want to go on about Billy Joe. I just feel for him. I know the kind of person Billy Joe is. He's a good lad. He's one of the boys. And let me tell you, mate, cheating just wouldn't be in his jet. It's just wrong, mate. He's been given something, and it's wrong. It's wrong. And he must be furious as well. He must be furious because you're tarnishing the lad's name, and it's just not in. It's just not in.
Tony should suck a dick for that. There you go. Fuck Tony Bellew then.
Did you notice as well, Andy, whenever at the beginning he was going on about banned drug cheats for life, he had an Evander Real Deal Holyfield t-shirt on?
Oh, tremendous. Oh, brilliant, man. I actually was fucking close to tears listening to that. Billy Joe when they do anything dodgy. Right, okay.
Oh dear, good old fair play to Boxing Squared who produced that on our behalf. First nomination here from Ricky Gravel. He spotted Eddie with a monumental comb over during the week. Little implant at the front there.
You can actually see it. He's actually had the surgical, what do you call that thing again?
It's like plugs or something, isn't it?
He's had plugs as well. I think he's also had the wee injections that, like, say, that Conor Ben got in his face, for example. You know, he's had out in his head.
That poor bastard is aging.
After last night, I'm sure he is.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
He's like Mother Gothel, man. He's going to be at 100 by now.
Did you catch his interview with Coogan last night when he's saying, he says, I'll be home tomorrow, roast dinner, I'll be fucking grumpy as hell, and the old man, I'll go and see him, and he'll try and tell me to wake up and get back to work and that. So at least we can the day that Eddie, if you're struggling today, guys, just know, just that Eddie's fucking anguish today is going to sustain you for the next couple of days.
A nomination there from Ricky Gravel then for the Botox Lego sex doll. Nomination from Kaiser Koba. Bad Left Hook reporting the WBO has ordered bantamweight champion John Real Casimero to begin negotiations with mandatory challenger Paul Butler. Just what everybody wanted to see there. From the WBO. Yeah, they forced through Usyk against Joshua. They're trying to force through Paul Butler here. A few nominations here for this one, including Ian, Captain Chunk. That might be Ian Cleater. Apologies if it's not. Lead Right reported. Matchroom fighter Shannon Courtney touting her mate tickets that are massively inflated by the StubHub resale prices. I'm sure that if anyone wanted to buy these at £1,250 per ticket, they could just go onto StubHub and pay 5 times the price of the original tickets. Hashtag boxing. Shannon up to no good here.
I want to hear Ozzy's take on this one. Like, because he'd be raging right now because Derek Carr's throwing interceptions on the other gaff and that, and Raiders are getting pumped.
I can't stand her. She's just a walking disaster, isn't she? In everything she does. I mean, she got found out with all those, like racist tweets and everything like that. And then the stupid idiot, but he starts touting tickets. Like not just, right, I got, they cost 400 quid each. They're going at the same price. Who's interested? She's massively inflated them. And then just passing it off like it's normal when her own promoter keeps coming out saying he's trying to tackle ticket touts and the reselling of highly inflated tickets. She's an absolute fool. I don't know if there's any, if she put anything up, like saying it was wrong or what. I didn't see if there was any, like reaction from her side, but I know she just got again annihilated by a lot of people. But other people, other boxing promoters, but like the smaller hall guys like Goodwin and a couple of others were commenting on it, just saying like, "What are you playing at? You can't do this." And she's a moron. Like, fair, if you're going to do it, fine, but for who she is, basically, let's break it down on paper. A WBA world champion is encouraging the resale of highly inflated tickets to boxing events. It's just not on. It is not on at all. It's bang out of order what she's done.
Did she actually get them sold, mate?
Not a clue. Not a clue. Hope not.
Yeah, I hope not either, actually.
And the funniest thing is that they were dearer to buy through her than if I was to go on StubHub and buy on StubHub.
Shannon. Good old
Tremendous.
Shannon.
That's a front runner.
Good nomination. Eddie's trying to get a body on the record. He's added White to the White Wallen card. Babbage versus Brown. Dog in the Hat, though, has nominated a random one. He says, guess I'm on my own in thinking this is a good matchup. Should be an entertaining scrap if Brown turns up. Babbage can't be moved too quickly, as my thoughts are he's European level at best. And as soon as he really steps up, he'll struggle. Looking forward to it. This one reeks a bit, Andy. Remember when they brought over Michael Katsidis? Was it for Tommy Coyle back in the day?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I mean, Eddie didn't have any compulsions about putting James Toney in prize fighter. As you mentioned, Michael Katsidis, who was brain damaged and on the best part of likes to smoke meth and that as well. So in comes Big Daddy Brown, who got smashed, and I mean smashed, in one round against a fucking rugby league player. That is what he's bringing in, right? This is the game changing stuff. Paul Gallen, aye.
All these washed up Aussies, man. You're going to have Paul Briggs coming over next, I think, for Callum Smith.
Didn't you predict this, Steve, after Babbage won his last fight?
I can't remember. Maybe, yeah. Wouldn't be surprised.
We'll just leave it at hashtag game change from Eddie again there, actually. I mean, this is...
Hashtag brain changed, I think. By the time Lucas Brown takes a shot.
This is absolute trash.
What game is this? 52-card pickup?
Oh, good old Eduardo. David Almond has nominated The Real Will Fitch. Boxing Exclusive says Prime Lennox Lewis beats any version of Mike Tyson. Fitch says Lennox was barely an elite boxer. All right, then. Dominic Henry has nominated Michael Buffer. I don't know who's doing the Buffer tweets, but it ain't him. He says, I'll be at the weigh-in and in the ring on Saturday night. Sweet Caroline. Me, let's get this party started. Usyk entrance, age entrance, me, blah, blah. Let's get ready to rumble. Get the fuck out the ring. Fight starts. OMG. I can't wait. I love my job. Eddie's got the intern doing the Buffer tweets, hasn't he? Buffer barely knows what time of day it is these days.
But I'll tell you what, actually, he was right what he's saying. He had the best view in the whole the stadium there last night, actually. Centre ring, getting to read out that decision before anybody on the planet knew that your man had done the fucking business. That's what I'm talking about.
He knows how to cash a check still anyway, old Buffer. Asylum Bellew of the Week. Billy Boxing 2.0 has nominated Stefan Perocchi. He says, has Eddie surpassed his dad? I think so, probably, but what Barry did for multiple sports was very special, and his dad had it much harder and was there from the start. Eddie is still a remarkable character and has achieved so much. He also, to some extent, was responsible for ending the first COVID lockdown. Taught us to live again.
Jesus, man. Just drop your drawers, man, and just let them penetrate you. Jesus.
That's like that one. Do you remember that LinkedIn guy who said he was responsible for getting Tyson Fury back in the ring? That big post he done on LinkedIn.
Fucking Jesus, man.
Stephen Perocchi, there you go. YouTube 2021 Matchroom FC. Here are Aussie. Brian King has nominated this Problem. This is Richard Schaefer's latest venture. Hopefully he'll go better than the first one. He's got Paul Smith in there. He's got Holly, somebody as well. Joining our on-air talent are Fight Disciples. What a powerhouse, Aussie. These fuckers are getting everywhere.
They are. Hey, fair play to him. Fair play. They're doing something right, aren't they? Like you said, they're everywhere. Talk Sport, DAZN, what's this called? Probellum. Whatever that is. What is it a promotional outfit?
Well, this will be Tricky Dicky Schaefer's third one, actually, because he actually emptied Golden Boy and then he emptied what was the name of it? Ringstar, whatever it was called.
Yeah. Ringstar.
Signed David Hay.
Ringstar. These boys know where the Ringstar is anywhere with all their jobs they're getting.
Aye.
Yeah, problem. Anyway, good luck to them.
The thing is, people ask us, why is it not you guys? Well, obviously, you know. You don't
As
kiss
Bellew
ass.
the week develops, Andy, I think they'll find out. They'll find
you
out.
don't kiss ass, man.
Brian King has nominated HBK. I just honestly think when Floyd was at the lower weights, his over-aggressive style at certain points, Shakura could exploit. All right, then. MTK Global Boxing, never known to be shy. We've got some of the sport's biggest characters. The top 9 sports biggest characters have been listed here, according to MTK. Michael Gearty has nominated them. Coming in at number 9, we have O'Hara Davis. Number 8, Twitter's finest, Sonny Edwards. Number 7, the Beard himself, John O'Carroll. Number 6, it's Knockout King, getting knocked out, Big Joe Laws. Number 5, Macaulay McGowan. Never seen him fight. Number 4, Sean McComb. Number 3, Tyrone McCullough. Number 2, Tyson Fury. And number 1, Tyrone McKenna. The biggest characters ranked by
Why is it
MTK.
not number 10? Did they run it a fucking page length or something like that? What is the point of this? What is the point
There's
of this?
obviously not 10 because they could only think of these 9 people off the top of their head for fucking anything because it's the dumbest list anyone has ever put together regarding any ridiculous topic.
It's everybody on the MTK roster today, just about, I'm sure.
That's a good list.
Yeah, it is. They're all... Steve, just out of interest, I didn't even know Tyrone McCullough was a character. Can you verify this? I just thought he was like a bit of a quiet guy. Got on with it. The word character, I can see why McKenna is quite eccentric and people are, but McCullough, I was surprised.
McCullough is a bit of a stealth character, actually. I wouldn't have him ahead of McComb, though, to be honest. McComb is a real joker and McKenna for sure. But yeah, McCullough's too high for me there. Definitely above Sean McComb.
So what we're saying is this is the banter rankings. Fuck.
Banter list?
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
Kings of banter. Brian King again, he's back with a bang here. Your local Pigeon, too early in Virgil's career to take the Conor Ben fight. Ben smokes him. Pigeon is often seen in our chat. I think he might be trolling there. Another one for Chris Lloyd this time. This was over the Canelo Plant fight at the weigh-in. Plant swung, missed and got countered. He's already cut and the fight hasn't happened yet. Also, terrible security. Wouldn't have happened with SA UK in the house. Fact, says Chris Lloyd.
Hey, you notice it, Tate? It was actually 2 women that tried to stop him from actually getting involved before the guys actually decided, all right, okay, man, I better sort of straighten this shit out. Jesus.
It's not in men's nature to break up fights when we see them happen. Yeah. It's in our nature to be like, oh fuck, I got 5 on this guy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm throwing money in the fucking floor. I'm taking that guy. But I'll tell you what though, Plant came out of that looking like a right proper mug, didn't he? With the fucking, he almost got pushed out his suit. For one thing,
the blackest man in boxing strikes again.
He's been turned into a meme now, Ozzy, with that little cut and that sad face.
That sad face. He knows what's coming to him, by the way. He knows what's coming.
The one thing about the cut, though, is that people were saying, "Oh, he's been cut." They failed to factor in that it was just his glasses that did the that caused the thing. The best thing is, though, on that being serious, is the cut hasn't, delayed the fight or anything. Because how typical would that be of boxing? Is that they have, a bit of a push and shove and, exchange a couple of shots, and then a cut at basically a pre-fight press conference means the fight is now delayed. Yeah. So at least that is all systems go. And I tell you what, though, Canelo looked riled. He looked genuinely pissed off. And I've not seen him. I don't even think Saunders could rile Canelo like Plant did there. And Saunders, did his utmost to try and rile Canelo. So I thought it was interesting to see a different side of him. And the funniest thing was from Canelo, he goes, oh, he was insulting my mum and then went on to proceed to call Caleb Plant a motherfucker. Yeah, exactly. Despite then moaning that Plant was insulting his mum. So, yeah, I thought it was quite funny.
Canelo's definitely on this no fucks given tour right now, isn't he? Since he's fucking got his freedom actually for
and Plant's been going for the jugular as well, hasn't he, really, with the PEDs and all that?
Yeah, I seen that. Exactly.
I'll tell you what, though, they didn't respond, did they? Renault
he's banged to rights, isn't he? Uh-huh.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. And a fair play to him as well. He said like they should be tested on. Fair play to Plant for coming out. Regardless of what people say, he came out and said it, and he's one of the first in a while to and he said it while Canelo and Reynoso were next to him, and they just sat there and took it.
Well, that's all they can do actually. But I'll tell you one thing: Plant better fucking pop fucking negative over the course of this fucking training camp.
They're so fucking used to it. I mean, look at Valdez last week. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's just part of their fucking life dealing with these accusations.
Start to get concerned now, Matty, if they don't test positive, I think.
You haven't been eating your meat.
Exactly. Oh yeah, that was a good one. Hamed has nominated Matchroom Benson has spoken. He's on Eddie's payroll. Yes, absolutely, he's on Eddie's payroll. He's all Benson. Billy Boxing has nominated Lawrence Cody for saying he could go down as one of the greatest cruiserweights of all time. Franny has nominated Conor Benn. He's talking about overcoming COVID. Shout out to all my supporters after he got over his last fight. This is a good one here. Hey to Dave. You're a media man. You know how to mock up a poster or two. Looks like Tyson's giving Deontay the work here.
Prison rules.
This reminds me of Donnie for some reason.
Donnie.
Well, last February, Dave, I suppose Tyson kind of did do anal, didn't he, on Deontay? Whether he's going to repeat the trick coming up next month, who knows?
He did anal and licked his blood. It was a beautiful night. I can't see. Did you see that there was some recent Twitter footage of, I guess, Wilder sparring and throwing body shots? It looked about as coordinated as you'd expect from Deontay Wilder. I don't see how he changes this. There's still people all around Twitter, all around Facebook, the boxing forums, if they exist, what passes for boxing forums these days, who think that Tyson cheated. Like they buy into it. So I guess there's some market for this third
shout
fight.
out to Art, man. Yeah, absolutely. Go on, Oz.
I was just going to say, Dave, Steve Wellings is one of those people on the forum saying that Fury cheated as well. So, Wellings preaching his cheating hate as well. So
don't you mean Steve Wellington?
THD, PhD, LBDC.
There he is.
LGBT, here he is. Big Mac Kelly. Come on, Rob, what's happening, man?
It's all happening. I'm only back now from day 2. That's the end now. That's the party over. So I said I'd jump on this quick. I have a vague recollection of jumping on. I tried to jump on in the hotel last night, but I knew that wasn't going to really work when I heard the noise.
We saw you.
That pink tie though, Rob. That's
like
stuff.
Scarface shit. That's what that is.
It's a massive weekend, Rob, man. The most important weekend of your life. Can you believe that Usyk beat AJ?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I said log it. There's no way Joshua was going to win on the night I was getting married. Absolutely no chance. Fucking Mystic Mac here. Put it on, put the house on it. I had a chance to see it this morning actually when I woke up. So I was really I was happy that looking at the fight that we kind of all called it in a certain way last week into how it was going to unfold. I think Joshua Fury's always said he's a big stiff idiot, but he looked like a big stiff idiot against Usyk, and I think that's all down to Usyk. Pressure he was putting on him. He was biting on feints after the 6th round, man. Holy shit. He bit on every feint all night, and he didn't seem to... I said this before about Joshua. I don't think he has the same kind of ring IQ or the ability to adapt on the fly once he's under pressure. I think it's more like... Now, he didn't fall. He hung in there last night, obviously, but Usyk was brilliant, man. And if I was AJ, I wouldn't be in a hurry to take that rematch. I don't think that's one of those instant rematch fights. Granted, the pressure on fighters these days is that you take the instant rematch, but fucking for me now, man, the Fury Joshua fight's forever gone away. Like, how many more L's are these fighters going to take between them by the time they end up fighting? Like, obviously the Fury Wilder one's not a foregone conclusion, but in a way, Usyk deserves it, man. Usyk deserves the limelight. Usyk pissed that fight last night for me, and I feel like he had a couple of gears to go up to at heavyweight. Whereas I think AJ would have to box completely out of himself to get a result in the next fight. Really, really think he'd have to box out of his skin. And what did it take for him to do that? Trying to fight Usyk with that style, he'd be getting drowned. So credit to Usyk, man. Massive credit to Usyk. And let's see what he does in the heavyweight division. Has to go down as one of the greatest of all time as a cruiserweight. And he's making his mark on heavyweight. He just beat Joshua. So, I mean, Skid Row again for Joshua. You know what I mean? Shit or bust now. Like, you take a rematch and you get beat. Where do you go from there? That Fury fight goes the fuck away. Like, so yeah, no. Look at all the praise should be just heaped on Usyk. Fair play, man. Brilliant.
And a quick word for Eddie Rob as well. Obviously, feel sorry for the big lad.
I fucking got it for him, mate. He's stocking up on fajitas now, isn't he? He's after rolling the taco truck into town. Fuck AJ, man. Give me some of this fucking fajitas, mate. And a white tracksuit. Fucking got it.
Don't fuck with Canelo Alvarez, as he says.
AJ will be like, what are we going to do next? And Eddie's like, we?
We.
Hell is we, baby.
Stick with us for as long as you can, Rob. It's great to see you. Also great to see Sergio Martinez back in action. Bellew of the Week nomination. Can't remember who sent it in, but for the actual fight between him and Brian the Lion Rose, we mentioned it earlier. We'll not dwell on it anymore. And Moz said Bellew of the Week for fucking Cougs, asking everyone if it was a fair result. I know Andy mentioned that one as well. New regular appearance here. Adam Abramovich is becoming a regular. Danny Young, this guy can fuck off. After Abramovich said masterclass is used far too liberally. Fury Wilder 2 was a punch-perfect masterclass. Last night was a very good performance by Usyk in a competitive fight. The quote-unquote master in the masterclass doesn't normally look like this. He would barely be touched. Another L for Abramovich there, Andy.
Aye. I think Dave Lee, who's been on red hot form all day, actually. He actually posted up a picture of Vitali after his fight again. I think it was Kevin Johnson. And he's all marked up, but he like dominated Kevin Johnson like 120-108 across 3 scorecards. And that was fucking. So apparently that was a masterclass or a shutout. Apparently it's because he had a few marks and bruises. But state of Joshua, man, fucking Joshua was almost lying in that corner there last night, man.
Call that one, didn't I? When I said he was going to dab up the eye, didn't I tell you that? I was just not.
Usyk as well, fucking just like walking about after the fight. Fucking Josh was like slumped in the corner. Fucking oxygen, man, oxygen. Well, what state he was in?
Well, AJ, hopefully he'll still be able to give us some of his wisdom. A lot of philosophy from AJ during the week, including this little gem. This is something to get you through the week, guys. Just to think about this whenever you're having a bit of a rough week.
You know, one thing about life is we're in a generation or in an era where there's no room for failure. Interviews aren't the same because you don't want to say the wrong thing. People can't perform and be creative because creativity leads to experience, which leads to trial and error. And there's no room for failure anymore.
Wow, enlightening stuff there.
Deep, man. Deep.
Who's this guy in the chat? You're just getting uncomfortable because you're getting aroused, Andrew. Who the fuck's that box missile McCoon? Is that you, Steve?
No, that's Matty. He's talking to Andrew Thickett, who was asking us to take down the Fury Wilder poster.
It was making him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I was wondering who that was. Sorry.
He's feeling threatened. Don't worry.
That was very deep, that Anthony Joshua quote. It looks like it could be like pop up on like some fucking 40-year-old Maz Facebook as a kind of a repost attributed to Amy Winehouse or Tupac or something. None of it.
Please share.
Yeah, please share.
Oh dear, I've got another AJ one coming up from Joe Thacker
later
on as well. Another one coming up, don't worry. Mike Coppinger has been nominated by BLM Bryce. He's praising Eddie for raising the bar once again. It was a good entrance, but after that you've got to win, haven't you? You can't have an entrance like that and lose. Come on now. BLM Bryce nominated Mark Ortega as well. Used to be friendly with Mark Ortega back in the day. He says, I want to see Usyk against Andre Ward. You're going to call me crazy. Well, I called him a few things after making that proposal. We need to see that, do we?
He's an idiot, that guy.
Yeah,
remember, listen, if you let Steve Kim slap you about the face and that, then you are an idiot.
Shout out to Mark Ortega. Brit Boxing Blog, along with Tom Craze, has nominated this one. Good night, God bless. There was an account set up called Usyk Pickers Exposed. And when Anthony Joshua defeats Usyk tonight, we'll not let these people on Twitter who kept annoying us with Usyk take for months just disappear. And surprisingly enough, on Sunday morning, Usyk Pickers Exposed was nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, deleted his account. Little twat.
Delete your account.
Who makes that? Who makes that account?
Who's
fucking asshole?
I mean, you've actually got to go through all that setup and verification. I've got no idea how anybody could just go just for a bit of banter and that, you know. But get a fucking life, man. Creating an account and then deleting it afterwards. Fuck.
This was sent in by, I can't remember who it was, someone in the chat. It might have been Dave or Craig, actually. The Dublinator wants to see Carl Froch against Glenn McCrory. Legends return. McCrory versus Froch. I think Glenn's far past that, and Froch has had a new nose, so I can't see that one. That one happening.
See, the boys are out working on the poster again anyway.
No low kicks.
No low kicks.
Oh, that's a cracker. Yes, the winner, of course, don't forget, features in our Bellew of the Year. I've been saving them throughout the year, the winner of every week. So we will, in December, have a Bellew of the Year to look forward to. Thomas Casanova has been nominated by Joe Box. I had a hard time accepting that the boxer in the ring was Anthony Joshua. The fight was very low level, mediocre. Damn business comes before sport. The organisers play with the illusion of the fans, says Thomas Casanova. Oh my goodness. Jack Anderson, who has recently joined us on Patreon, he says nominated Joe Laws. Laws says, shows you how underrated Tony Bellew was. He got to heavyweight by eating more quality streets and schooled him for 6. Man like Bomber. Yeah, schooled Usyk for 6. Okay, fair enough then. Also, almost finally, Matty, you sent this one earlier. Al Bernstein has been to the British Hair Clinic, and this is the result.
That dye job is fucking awful, Steve. Al Bernstein looks like a middle-aged guy who's going to the bar to get some young pussy after a long day of selling vacuums.
7-year anal.
I don't know.
He's doing well sexually. Yeah.
I'm sure he is. Good old Donny.
Good one, man. That was good. You came up with that just there.
Yeah.
That was fucking good.
Brilliant. Just remember that one for next time. Donny was on last night as well, so good to have him back with us. And finally, as I mentioned, Joe Thackeray has nominated AJ. This will get your head in a spin, pretty much like AJ's head was spinning last night. Let's listen to some more philosophy from the great master himself.
I think you were talking about the pandemic there. Have you changed, you think, as a boxer or as a person during it?
100%. Like when I first started boxing, my whole world just flipped on its head. Like I had to really step my game up and adapt to this new environment. And then, so imagine I'm upside down now and the whole world's moving at 100 miles an hour. So it's a bit of a whirlwind. And then with the pandemic, the whole world flipped on its head, which gave me a chance to now look up again. So I flipped on my head when I first started boxing. Then during the pandemic, where the world's flipped on its head, it's allowed me to resurface again. And I feel like in life, you always need to reset sometimes and go back to what the true meaning of what you're doing is, why you're doing it, reset with who you are, what your values are, and the pandemic's helped me do all that.
Jesus,
feel like I've been in the washing machine.
he probably fucking looks at that painting of all the different staircases going weird directions, and he's like, "Oh, that's straight ahead."
That was Brent-esque, actually. To be honest with you.
The Great Reset by Anthony Joshua.
Oh, good old AJ. That's all the ones I've got, boys. If anybody has any to throw in, starting with Matty, then throw them in right now. I know you've already nominated Al Bernstein anymore, Matty.
I stand by Al.
Stand by Al and his hairdo. Not too close, Matty. If it gets warm in there, say he'd be dripping all that purple shite over your shoulder.
Stay away from the warming middle-aged man.
Middle-aged, he's being a bit generous, but there you go. A nomination for Al Bernstein. Andy, any from you?
Oh, I've got a few, mate. Absolutely. Ooh. Fred Cunningham, who I think he's one of the managers, Anthony Joshua, tweeted out his hot take last night. Heavyweight game, hardest sport in the world. Being champion is not always having your hand raised at the end of the fight.
Yes, it is.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it is.
It's exactly what it is. When it's not that, it isn't. You're not the champion. That's the way it works.
That's how it goes. Honestly, God, what a hot take that is, by the way. Howard Foster for those first 2 rounds, giving him the AJ last night, absolutely disgraceful. As I say, look, Usyk was that good actually. Howard Foster had to end up giving him the decision anyway, but I think some people weren't surprised that some sort of shenanigans was going on. So it just shows you Usyk had to win that fight big in the end, actually, just to kind of make sure. Can you imagine split decision coming like you're like, no way they're going to rob him, but thank God we didn't get it. Campbell Hatton. He said after the fight there last night on DAZN, I don't think it was a close match. At most, he won 2 rounds or maybe 1. So as I say to Ozzy, that if he's not into boxing the next year, he can maybe become a comedian. Why? I tell you one thing we didn't pick up on, actually. It'd have been interesting if we could play it, actually. But Ryan Kavanagh for Triller, he said that he's moving the Teofimo Lopez against Cambosa's fight to the October 16th at Barclays, right? So it's went from a Monday to a Tuesday to a Saturday. I think it's back to a Monday now, I think, right? Meanwhile, the day previously, or the day after, Teofimo Lopez came out and said that we're sticking firm with the 4th of October date, right? He's apparently signed the contract for the 16th. So, yeah, Teo, you're changing the game, baby, and you're standing from your principles. Jesus Christ.
Speaking of Lopez, he was at the UFC card last night. They put the camera on him. I was kind of surprised because he's a rival sport.
All right. But so I went for Ryan Kavanagh and for Teofimo Lopez and that. And the one for DAZN, probably by extension Eddie Hearn. Mikey Garcia came out and says that DAZN have not got the budget to make the Regis Prograis fight. He's quoted as saying here, "We were originally trying to fight Regis Prograis. The timing and schedules of the DAZN and Matchroom didn't quite fit with the budgets that were required and the dates and stuff," Garcia told Fight Hype. Eddie Hearn said DAZN didn't have the budget for that type of fight with Prograis. That would require a different promotion, more time to promote and more time to build up the fight. Didn't have that time to do that. So the name they brought up was Sandor Martin. What type of build-up does like Mikey Garcia Prograis need, by the way? Nobody knows. Prograis hasn't even known in his own fucking postcode, man. Right? And Mikey Garcia is like semi-retired. So what type of promotion do they need to give that fight? Just get Akin Barak on the case.
No, not them.
Yeah.
Sandor Martin.
Sandor Martin. So that's what they've come up with. And you know, Eddie Hearn, just for that, for taking that L there last night, he took it well. And Anthony Joshua coming out of that fight looked like he'd been in the Battle of Helm's Deep. So it was pretty good there last night. So yeah, it was fantastic.
Fair play to Sky and DAZN for providing us with so much entertainment. Ozzy, any nominations from you?
No.
Nothing from Ozzy. Hater Dave, any nominations?
No, none from me. Gabe.
Dude, that must be some really good pussy if you're fucking lighting so up on your hate so much.
Oh, shit.
I'm going to say Gabe for his Gay J prediction.
Oh, it's Steve for not getting to see the fight last night live because his internet packed up.
Definitely.
Yeah, what kind of dickheads didn't get to see the fight last night? Assholes.
At least you had a good reason.
Yours was by choice, though, mate.
Okay, Rob, any nominations from you? I know you haven't seen that much, dude.
No. It's just I think it's a great time to my good friend Anthony Joshua to bounce back. You think about bounce back ability, and if the world flips you upside down, you'll always have a chance to flip the world back up again. Flips upside your head. Flippity flop. And of course, thank you to a close personal friend of mine, Roy Jones Jr. for the message. Great mate of mine. We go back a long time, me and Roy Jones. I almost forgot about how far we go back. But no, really, actually, shout out to Ben from Boxing News TV and from the Asylum, who got a shout out from Roy Jones for me on my wedding day, which was fucking cool as shit, man. That's one of the coolest shit anyone ever did for me. Honest to God, that was so good. Like, I really enjoyed it.
You will never forget.
Exactly, you're right. I'll never forget.
Oh, we forgot to give Bellew a shout out for Bellew of the Week because remember Kate Abdo took him to task last night for his rankings for the top. Oh, she was taking no shit last night. Oh, aye,
fair play to her. He was trying to put White. He was trying to put Dillian White in at like number 3 or something. And she was like, "What about Wilder's body of work?" And I don't understand how Dillian White, by virtue of Wilder, I mean, love him or hate him. You know, we're not saying he's got the best resume in the world, but after all those defences, he goes behind White, who 2 fights ago was getting knocked out by Alexander Povetkin. I mean, we're thinking like White has gone on this mad run of wins, and just because Wilder's lost in his last fight, what have you done for me lately? White hasn't exactly beaten a load of killers. I mean, he beat Robert Helenius, who recently knocked out Kovnachi. Do we put Helenius in the top 5 all of a sudden? It's absolute nonsense, man. That was bullshit. Fair play to Abdo Andy for going in on him.
Yep, absolutely, mate. She was like, she even said that. Who was it? She referenced something. It was resumes. That's what it was. So White's there on resume. Usyk's no in the top 3 because he's not fought anybody decent at heavyweight. Well, if you've got Anthony Joshua ranked 2, then Usyk's going to be plopping right in behind there at number 2, guaranteed. Well, it should be at least.
I'm not really sure who to go for here, Matty, to be honest. It's not the strongest week. There's a few decent ones, but nothing's really standing out to me. So I'm going to let you boys lead off, Matty. Who are you going for?
I'm sticking with L.
Oh, sticking with Al Bernstein.
I'm going for Freddie Cunningham, mate. I'm going for Freddie Cunningham, Joshua's team, by saying the heavyweight game is the hardest sport in the world. Being champion is not always about having your hand raised at the end. Oh, yeah. That's some sort of wisdom that Joshua try and kind of force upon you, you know?
Yeah, exactly. One for Freddie, one for Al then. Liked a bit of Eddie, like a bit of Bellew, but I feel like they've been nominated and won it before. Ozzy, who are you going for, episode 442?
Is it Adam Abramovitz?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's my pick this week.
Okay, Adam Abramovitz as well has been thrown in. Hey to Dave, who has no doubt spent time on the pod with Adam Abramovitz in the past. Dave, who are you going for?
I am going to jump on the hate train because at the time I didn't know that Campbell Hatton had taken the win that he didn't deserve that badly, making excuses, saying, "Oh, at most he won 2 rounds." I'm going Campbell Hatton. That's garbage. You lost that fight.
Okay, Campbell Hatton, Freddie Cunningham, and Matty went for Al Bernstein, and I've forgotten who. Ozzy went for Adam Abramovitz. Rob, who are you going for?
I think I have to go for, I don't know if that's in the context or it's just a clip quote, but that fucking pandemic quote where the life comes at you fast and then it flips you upside down and you flip it back up, flips upside the head. That shit, I like that one from AJ. What a bullshit artist. Like, he fucking say anything, wouldn't he? Oh, the thing about it is no room for error or creativity. So, what the fuck are you talking? Nobody ever says, so what does that mean, man? That don't mean anything. Well, I think if you get flipped upside down, obviously you can flip back up again. Fucking shut up. So that one.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Rob actually, and just tip AJ over the line here. I feel bad seeing as he
Let us hear it again. Let's hear it again.
But AJ. Congratulations, AJ. You're the Bellew of the Week winner for episode 442. Let's have a listen to what he said. A bit of philosophy from the main man, very Spencer Fearon-esque here.
I think you were talking about the pandemic there. Have you changed, you think, as a boxer or as a person during it?
100%. Like, when I first started boxing, my whole world just flipped on its head. Like, I had to really step my game up and adapt to this new environment. And then, so imagine I'm upside down now and the whole world's moving at 100 miles an hour. So it's a bit of a whirlwind. And then with a pandemic, the whole world flipped on its head, which gave me a chance to now look up again. So I flipped on my head when I first started boxing. Then during the pandemic, where the world's flipped on its head, it's allowed me to resurface again. And I feel like in life, you always need to reset sometimes and go back to what the true meaning of what you're doing is, why you're doing it, reset with who you are, what your values are, and the pandemic's helped me do all that.
I actually love how he's giving us all the sign language now and trying to
explain what he's doing. I think he let his hands go more in that clip than in the fight, didn't he?
It sounds like me trying to explain the benefits of switching to a consumption tax after I've been smoking dabs all evening long.
Oh dear, AJ, good man yourself. Episode 442.
I thought he was going to finish it and say, fucking.
Spit it out, Rob.
That he was shooting some b-ball outside of the school and a couple of guys who were up for no good Saturday. His whole world got flipped upside down. Oh, man.
Another Fresh Prince reference there. Just before I hand back over to Matty, thank you to everybody who dropped in super chats.